Welcome in here live from Notre Dame Stadium and the Duncan Center with a interview of a sophomore on the volleyball team here. Phyona, how's it going? How's it popping? And how is it going for this cold, kind of eerie October day?
It's going great. It's just a regular day. I have classes. Had a nice massage today from my volleyball team. And yeah,
Nice. So, how did you start in the game of volleyball?
so I started I was homeschooled and I played for my dad's homeschool team. So my older siblings played volleyball. So I've always really had a volleyball in my hand. I was always a setter. It just kind of went that direction.
So when was the idea that I can be recruited to a Division I school?
What was the idea?
The moment where I'm like, oh, this could be an actual reality.
That was probably 8th grade year before high school, which is crazy. But I was the first to get recruited in my family, so my parents didn't really know how it worked. I didn't know how it worked, so these colleges are emailing us and we're like, okay, I could go to college with volleyball. So it was definitely a crazy amazing thing, but my club director helped us a lot, so yeah.
Okay, so how is the kind of club scene in Iowa?
So I moved from St. Louis to Iowa when I was 12. So I played 13U in Iowa. My club that I was playing for in Iowa, though, folded. So I decided to go to Omaha because they have better clubs there. And I played for Premier, which is 2.5 hours away from me. So, yeah.
Okay, you hear it first. She had her upbringing in a bunch of corn states there in Nebraska and Omaha.
Midwest, yep.
But so what was kind of the feel going from Iowa to Nebraska constantly?
Well, it was definitely a different lifestyle. I was homeschooled partly, so I did a lot of my schooling in the car. But I know a lot of other volleyball players that did a similar thing, so it's not like it was out of the blue completely. But yeah, we had a van, and my mom would make crockpot dinners in the van, so we made it all work.
Okay, so did that kind of help you now with the transition with your freshman year last year, with kind of adjusting from here at Notre Dame to the travel that you're going to have as a volleyball player?
It's definitely very different from what I had in high school. I'm traveling in a van with my mom and my sister, and now it's like I have so much more school, and we're traveling in buses and planes, and so it's definitely very different. So I would say yes and no. It helped me do school in the car. I can do that for sure, but it's definitely very different.
Okay, cool. Okay, so when was what was the first moment where you thought, oh, Notre Dame is a possible landing spot and stuff like that?
That's actually very funny that you asked because when Notre Dame emailed me, my dad, I didn't know Notre Dame. I never heard of Notre Dame before they started recruiting me. So my dad sees I'm a freshman, 8th grade/freshman. So give me a break. But my dad tells me that Notre Dame emailed me this is a really good school. This is amazing. I don't know. And I'm like, are they good at volleyball? He's like, well, they're not really ranked. I'm not exactly sure if they're ranked or not, but I was like, no, take them off the list. No. Right away. So that was the initial, but then obviously my dad, helps me out a little bit, and I figure out how amazing this school is. So yeah.
Right. I mean, I've joked with other athletes about this, but it's the closest thing to Hogwarts.
Yeah, honestly. South Dining Hall.
To be honest with you. So, what was your first initial thought knowing, hey, my dad's like really pumped about the school, but like I'm in the middle. But like, what was the first when you first like visit here?
I fell in love with it. When I came and visited, the second I got into the car, I'm like, when can I commit? Like all the morals, all like the view, like everything about the school is just like, okay, I'm ready. But yeah, there's definitely a pros and cons list that I wasn't taking into account, which also my parents definitely helped me with. But yeah, I definitely love the school. Like the second I like actually knew about it.
Absolutely. So, what was the other schools that you were kind of looking at?
So I was definitely moving around a lot in the beginning of my recruiting, just like a lot of state schools. Towards the end, though, like it was mainly Notre Dame, USC, um, and those were like the two big ones. There was Colorado State, Iowa State was in there also, but yeah, it was mainly Notre Dame and USC at the end. So yeah.
Okay, so you were picking one arch rival with the other.
Right. Yep. That's what I was doing. Yeah. So it felt pretty good because first I didn't really like the coach and how he liked to talk on the phone for sure, but it was kind of fun to say that on the phone. Yep. Nope. I'm taking your rival school.
I bet you that was a nice little kind of moment where like, hey, by the way, Southern Cal, I'm not feeling you. I'm gonna go to Notre Dame.
Yeah. A lot of power in that phone call for sure.
Absolutely. Speaking of feeling like powerful moments, how about winning a state championship in your senior year at Iowa? So for the most part, you talk about being homeschooled, but that just had to feel good with your teammates and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, state title and national title in the same year definitely are something that doesn't happen to a lot of people. So that was incredible, especially like how it built up to that, like with my team and the people that I've worked with for those 4 years. So yeah, it was crazy.
Absolutely. And then ending up in here in this beautiful conference room and stuff like that, and just kind of studying in these hall grounds, it doesn't beat that.
It really doesn't. Like I think of where I could be if I got recruited by other schools and went to different schools, but it really like this is the best school that I really could have picked. So
absolutely. So what's kind of like the training like from the adjustment from high school to college here, and kind of coming in early other than other freshmen, stuff like that?
It was definitely this year versus last year is definitely very different, with different coaches, training styles. But in high school, it was definitely less intentional. Coming into college, like you have what you need to fix, and you need to fix it like right away because you have a match right around the corner, and like you got to be able to change what you are doing wrong. So there's definitely a much higher urgency to fix things and like improve, rather than just going through the game, like having fun with it, which obviously volleyball's still fun, but it's more of like a job now. So yeah.
And I'm glad you said kind of that, because looking on and kind of researching, girl, you're kind of getting into that rock star kind of with that kind of cello and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So how did that kind of come all across and stuff?
Like in high school or
no? Here, because I saw the
oh
whole.
Yeah. That was oh man, I forget what it's called, but it was for a really big event. Like, what is the name of that? It was like an award ceremony. So yeah, they asked me to play for that, and because the girl setting up the music for it knows me personally. It was like, oh, we have a cello, we just put it together with all the athletes. So yeah, it was just under the breath, like we know this person, so we came together and it was like made a little band, so it's nice.
Hey, that must be nice, just casually just going and be like, oh, here's the grind, and then somebody comes up, she's like, hey, I heard you play the cello, and then you just belt out a couple songs and stuff like that. So, hey, I wish I had your talent, you know what I'm saying? But kind of getting to everything. So, what is your advice for somebody who's kind of in their going to be in their senior year and stuff like that to be recruited when they're in like a small school, area school?
Like a smaller school?
Yeah.
Like Notre Dame?
No, like I know you went to a 5A, but like a 1A or a 2A.
Oh, okay. Are you talking about like getting noticed, or are you talking about like going into college?
Getting noticed.
Getting noticed. Reaching out to people is a big thing. You never know who's going to hear you. You know, like reach out to anyone, everyone, anyone you like. Don't think something's too big. You know, might as well try. That's a big one. Reach out to people. I know a girl that was committed here. She didn't really have anything. She didn't play volleyball. Well, she didn't like play like high level volleyball, on like later in her club career. So, and then she decided she wanted to go to college for it, and she made an Instagram account, and she was like posting all this stuff, following people. So like really, you can do anything as long as you're, you know, staying in the bounds, obviously. But
right, as long as you kind of hustle for yourself.
Right. Yeah, that's all it is. So. Yeah.
Okay. You heard it first from a Notre Dame volleyball player. You just gotta hustle, get recruited by a Division I school. Okay. So, kind of going into this year and stuff like that, what can you take from this year to next year when you're upperclassmen?
For volleyball? Definitely our team chemistry, like individually. I think that's going to be the most important part going into next year, is like building the culture now, because we have a pretty much completely new team, and bringing that quality culture into next year and staying bonded with the girls, and like building off of that, like building off of like our connections and forming more of a team, because that's definitely one of the biggest struggles we've had this year, is like finding the clicks, or like finding, you know, like our own levels and like how we like work together. So that's gonna be the biggest thing.
Absolutely. It seems like you guys kind of gelled a little part of the middle of the year, and then there's just a lot of talent in the ACC this year.
Right. Yeah.
So you guys have kind of went into like buzzsaw kind of like mentalities and teams that are kind of in there, kind of like what you're going to face on the 30th against Duke. So what is the scouting report from like a team like the Blue Devils and stuff like that?
Well, to be honest, I haven't looked at the film yet. We got it yesterday. So, but the scout consists of the rotations, the hitters, defense, and then for me, the blockers. So we go through the rotations, like see what patterns they do in each row, and then we look at the hitters' tendencies, and then we find like what's open on their defense, and then we like find shots for ourselves. And then for me, I see like what their blockers do like in different scenarios, and then see what I can do to like form an offense with that. So
absolutely. So what's kind of the art of setting and stuff like that?
The art of like what is the art of setting?
Yep.
Well, the role, I mean, includes number one, location, obviously. You gotta set up your hitters to be successful. You know, that's number one. If you don't have that, then you can't do anything else. Number two is to give them opportunities to put the ball away, obviously. So like blockers getting seams and spreading out the offense to make it difficult for the defense on the other side. And then obviously a leader role of, you know, being the steady one on the court to, you know, you're the one that's touching the ball the most. So you have to better every single play. So I would say that's probably the setting role.
Absolutely. So, could you say that you're a rainmaker when you're making all those dimes?
A rainmaker.
Because like all assists, okay? Because looking at your stats and stuff like that, and just how many assists you had and stuff like that in Iowa, and then here at Notre Dame in your first 2 years.
I don't understand the question.
Okay, I don't either.
A rainmaker.
So, because like you're making the dimes rain, so.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So, that's just a little nervous, Dad, or jokes, whatever. But anyway, so let's get into kind of your major and stuff like that. So, what are some goals for the next 2 years here on the court and off the court?
Well, goals on the court is my goals aren't anything tangible right now, like anything like that. It's really like individual and team wise. So like chemistry and all those kinds of things, like the things people don't see. That's like the biggest goal for volleyball for sure. And then off the court is I want to get involved more. I want to study abroad. But I want more opportunities. Like for my major, I'm computer engineering, so I want to like figure that out a little more. Like what it is, talk to people, like know that I really want to do that. That's definitely a big goal. But experience, figuring out, because after this, I really have to know if I'm staying in computer engineering or if I'm going to go to computer science. So, yeah. So what kind of job do you want after Notre Dame with the computer engineering or science? That's a great question. I don't know what's out there. There's so many options. There's so many places I could go. Like, so I came into college being a mechanical engineer, and I picked that because I didn't really know what different kind of engineers there were. So, and engineering has such a broad, like, there's so many places you can go with engineering. Right. But computer engineering and like coding, there's even more possibilities because everyone needs technology. So really, I could work anywhere, and that's one of the huge reasons why I'm there is job security. But so I really don't know that answer, but that's the goal, is to figure that out. So okay. So what's kind of the goals for volleyball? So do you want to play on Team USA and stuff like that, and along those lines? Oh, okay. I was thinking about professional. It's definitely going to be very different than now. A different, like, it was a step up from high school to college, obviously, and it's going to be a whole nother step to that. Right now, I'm just making sure that I would have the ability for that, because I don't it's not even going to be an option if I'm not good enough. So like right now I'm like only focused on my skill level and my team, and I'm like I kind of am like thinking of that in the back of my head, but definitely not in the front of my brain right now at all. So yeah. It's all good. So what is some of your superstition before a game? What's my what? Say it again. Superstition. Superstition. Okay, no, I know. Yeah. I can't say it either. Probably my braids now. I need to keep my braids before every game. I never braided my hair before this year, but I'm like, it keeps my flyaways away. So I'm like, I gotta do that every game now. Every game. Okay, I like it. You gotta keep fly, and then you gotta play well. Okay, dress well, play well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Look good, feel good, play good. Okay, so what is like the funniest moment on a bus ride from
here at Notre Dame or in high school?
Well, recently, our team has been getting into Mafia on the bus. So that's definitely very fun watching how people on my team really know how to lie. So that's great. Maybe it's a team bonding, maybe it's not. But yeah, I have plenty of good moments with different teams, but every team's different, you know?
Right, absolutely. So, Mafia, is it like a game or something like that?
Yeah, no. It's where you have a couple so like Mafia, like the murderers, and they have a doctor and like all the townspeople, and then the sheriff, and then you go through, and it's like a little, you gotta see who's like, try to figure out who the mafia is. It's just a fun game. Yep.
Okay. So you guys play like a form of Clue on the bus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice. Okay, so kind of in our last segment, it's called the hot corner.
Okay.
So I'm gonna kind of throw questions like, what's your favorite sports movie or this? But in this case, since you're from Iowa, even though you grew up in St. Louis too, but I'm gonna put you in the spot for the first question.
Okay.
Field of Dreams or Rudy?
Oh, that's hard. Well, definitely Rudy. Probably definitely Rudy, but Field of Dreams is pretty cool too. Yeah, but I would say Rudy.
See, I had to ask that question because you're from Iowa most of your life. So
Right. Yeah. I would say St. Louis is probably more my home. That's why it's probably a little split.
Right.
But that's why I probably Rudy.
Okay. I don't disagree with that. Being a long time Notre Dame fan. What is your favorite like go-to meal?
Hummus wraps. Yeah. Hummus on a tortilla and I throw anything on it. But yeah, I like hummus wraps.
Okay. So, what's like your favorite position on the volleyball court? Because you've been a setter, you've been an outside hitter.
And right side, yeah.
Right side. Okay. So, you've been numerous positions. What is your favorite on the volleyball court?
Well, I feel like it should and have to be setting, but if I would be any other position, I would think I'd be a libero because I love defense. I really do. So yeah.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So, I'm trying to think. Well, okay. So, who are your teams? Who's your professional teams?
My professional teams.
Yeah, your favorite teams.
I don't have any.
It's all good. Trying to think of questions. Okay. So, what's your favorite thing about coding?
Ooh. Probably should think of this one because it's gonna be the rest of my life. But I like the logic in it. Also it looks really cool. All the colors, but no, yeah. It's just like it's cool taking English and like everyday problems, and then like I think, I do math on my own, and then I could just write a program, and then maybe it's hard the first time to write that program to solve that problem, but then every single time I can solve any problem I want. So like I think that's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
And there's so much unknown about it that like for me that there's so much room to learn about computers and stuff because I didn't really know anything before college. So yeah.
What's a Notre Dame Saturday like?
For me?
For you here at Notre Dame, since we're in the stadium technically. So what's it like being in the fan section and stuff?
Oh, I only get to go to probably two football games a season. So it's amazing for sure. But yeah, I don't really get to go to many, so I like the night games. Night games are a lot more fun. I don't know actually a lot about football, which is upsetting, but I'm learning. I have a boyfriend that is very much into football, so but yeah, it's fun for sure.
For sure. Okay, so stay froggy, my friend, and go Irish.
Yes, go Irish.
And thank you for coming on here.